Okay, this is how to build an attractive body that girls love. First of all, why should you listen to me? You don't want to listen to just some random guy on the internet who's just telling you like, "Oh, this is how you get girls," and then they just don't have any results for it. So you gotta talk the talk to walk the walk, obviously. So these are just like some screenshots I have of just like texts I've sent to girls. It's nothing special to be honest, but yeah, I send the same picture and text to multiple girls. Don't fix what isn't broken. Uh, some of you might be seeing this and be like, "Oh, it's photoshopped. It's this, it's that." I don't care, to be honest with you. I know they're real, and if you want to believe they're real too, then this guide will help you, obviously. I'll just say it like right now. I'm nowhere near the end goal, but if you want to go from level 0 to level 1, then I'm the guy that can probably help you with that. So, first of all, who am I? Let me move my little camera. Okay, who am I? I'm a guy who's gotten decently good at attracting and getting dates and getting girls through like dating apps and like online and like texting and all that. 4 months ago, I used to get like 2 likes, maybe like a match a day, or like even a match a day is like kind of generous. It was like maybe like 1 or 2 matches a week, and like they were all just like ugly or like trans. And if you guys can relate to that, then this will definitely help you get off of square one and like start to actually like make some progress and like some, we'll call it like novice gains for like attracting girls. Because I think I'm no expert, like I've said. I just believe I've started getting, I'm finishing up my novice gains of attracting girls, and I can help you get through that too. So nowadays, whenever I download Tinder, I usually get like 15 or 20 likes in the first 2 to 3 hours with the pictures that I will show you. With the shirtless pictures, I'll show you. And I remember like last week, I downloaded Tinder just to see how many matches I'd get within like 12 hours. So I downloaded Tinder at like 6 p.m. or something. Did my 50 swipes, didn't really care. Then I just kind of fell asleep and then woke up the next morning, did another 50 swipes, and I ended up with like 15 matches or something. So 15 matches in 12 hours isn't too shabby in my opinion. If it sounds kind of pathetic to you, then maybe this guide is not for you. Maybe you're just like some fucking Chad. Maybe you could teach me a thing or two, who knows. But if you're not at that point where like, you hear 10, 15 matches like in 12 hours, you're like, wait, that's impossible. He must be lying. Then I think this guide would help you a lot. So subscribe right now if you want to learn how to get better online dating success and like how to like get better like shirtless pictures and how to like build the body. But to be honest with you, I'm not the guy you want to ask if you want to like get better at like cold approaching or like approaching girls in real life, because while I've had like success approaching girls in college, I don't really count that as cold approaching, because what I've realized, I'm not sure if you guys heard that sound or not. I hope not. Okay. What I've realized is that like approaching college girls is not cold approaching. It really isn't, because you already are in such like a social environment that like it's kind of guaranteed that you're supposed to talk. And like the way I approach girls in college is I just sit with them during like lunch or dinner randomly, and like at that point is it even cold approaching? It's just like more of a first date at that point in my opinion. Like you're already just sitting with her. So cold approaching is not something I can give advice on just yet, because it's something I'm still working on, and I'll be 100% honest and authentic with you. I'm not that good at it. So like I'm not like awkward on like dates or like hanging out with girls I know, or like even approaching girls in college. I'm not really awkward at all with that. But in terms of actually cold approaching, like if I see like a girl at the gym that I think is cute, I will feel some awkwardness approaching her, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I just think it's something I have room for in my self-improvement journey. So we're gonna make some quick assumptions. So first of all, we're assuming you're a man under the age of 25, because there is kind of like a different attractive body for men over 25. We'll call this like the lean wolf versus like the big bear physique. So like the lean wolf physique is like if you're under 25. Like if you're under 25, the ideal body fat percentage to be as a man is like between like 10 and like 14 or 15% most likely. And then like not be too big. Like we'll go more into depth with this later, but just TLDR, the lean wolf physique is for men under 25. Be lean and athletic. And for over 25, it kind of changes. You can be like a bit higher body fat, but just like bulky as fuck and like just strong looking. So that's the first assumption. The second assumption is that you're building this body just to get some girls or just to get some pussy. Like, don't fucking lie to me, bro. We know why you clicked on this guide. You clicked on the guide because it said how to build an attractive body that girls love, not how to build an aesthetic body, not how to build a strong body, how to build an athletic body. You chose it because it said attractive body that girls love. That's why you clicked on this guide. So don't lie to me. I know why you're here. So you know why you're here too. Okay, don't fucking lie to yourself either. So we'll also assume that you're probably skinny fat. If you're not skinny fat, if you're just like just skinny or like just fat, just like obviously just bulk or cut. Like it's not that hard if you're just objectively skinny or objectively fat. But the rest of the guide still applies to you. But I will assume that most of you guys watching this are skinny fat because unfortunately, becoming skinny fat is something that's becoming more common nowadays. And it may be because of like the estrogenics in our food. It could be because of our shit diets. It could be because of our lack of exercise. Who knows, honestly. But the truth is, like, skinny fat is becoming way more rampant than it used to be in the past. So we will be assuming that you're skinny fat for the sake of this guide because I was too. Excuse me. We're also going to assume you have like either access to like a gym membership or like a home gym or like at least something you can like just lift weights with because come on, bro. Like I get calisthenics are cool and all, but like you're not going to build an amazing physique doing just bodyweight calisthenics. Like if you're talking about weighted calisthenics, then like yeah, that can get you somewhere, but bodyweight calisthenics will not exactly get you the physique you're looking for if you want to attract some girls. So if you can't afford a gym membership, just shut the fuck up. You can buy a gym membership for like 20-30 bucks a month. I'm assuming you can afford that. Like come on, bro. Like ask your parents if you're young, get the money if you're older. Like just get you can afford 30 bucks a month. Come on, bro. And the final assumption we're going to be making is that you may watch a lot of fitness content. You may think you're extremely educated because you watch Sam Solik, you watch Greg Doucette, you watch all these, you watch More Plates, More Dates, or you watch fucking Mario Rios. You may watch a lot of fitness content, but chances are you're still a fucking novice. You still probably bench under 200. You probably squat under 200. We're assuming all these things. So even if these assumptions aren't 100% like tailored to you, this guide will still help and you could probably still get some useful pointers from it. So I'll just say one more thing. Let me just move this. My physique is honestly kind of mid. Like you can see on this right, like there's not much muscle. I'm not even lean. Like there's like no abs here at all. I don't have any abs. I'm probably like 17 or 18% body fat. You can just see like it looks like I just got some novice gains, like with like some muscle in my chest and shoulders, and like maybe like a bit of a V taper like that. Like dead ass, like if you had to rate this body, it's probably like a 6 out of 10 compared to like most of these fitness influencers. And honestly, compared to most of these fitness influencers, it's probably like a 4 out of 10. I'll be honest with you. But that should be a good thing because that means you don't have to be like jacked or like have like this insane body to like attract girls or have a body that girls find like sexy. So like a lot of people get into this mindset of like, okay, if I want to get girls, I have to like be like 5% body fat, like 200 pounds, and like bench like 315 and like all this bullshit. It's a cope. You're just scared to talk to girls. Just admit it. Like I can admit I'm scared to cold approach. Just admit you're scared of girls and you're just using like all this like cope of like needing a better physique to like not talk to them for now. Just admit it and then you'll make a lot more progress. Fuck. So, sorry, I have a cough. I'm probably disgusting over this video. But how long will it take you? Truth be told, you can do it way longer. I don't know why I said that. Truth be told, you can do it way quicker than I did. I was like extremely inefficient despite having all this like fitness knowledge from like Greg Doucette and like More Plates, More Dates and like watching all these Natty or Nots. Like surprise, surprise, like watching Natty or Nots does not make you make progress. Like it just doesn't. It took me 4 years to like get to this point, and honestly, if you like just take the advice of this video, you can probably get there in like 1 or 2 years max. Like it honestly should not take that long because the truth is the attractive body that girls like is just a guy that's like finished his novice gains. That's all it is. Like just like be lean, have like 1 or 2 years worth of like muscle from going to the gym, and that like that's it. Especially if you're under 25, like that's all it takes. I made many mistakes, and the goal of this guide is for you to not make those same mistakes. So we'll just like look through these a little bit. So like this picture right here, this is back in, I believe, fall of 2019. So I was 14 years old. I was a tennis kid, so like I never like lifted weights or anything, and I never like did any like actual like strength training. I just like did a bunch of cardio basically because I was just playing tennis. So like I look lean here, but I wasn't lean. I had like a little bit of a gut. You can't see it in this picture, but I did. And then this was after, I believe this was in June of 2022. So it's about, let me do the math. That's like 2.5 years later, right? And I've made some progress. You can see like my chest is like starting to like fill out a bit. There's like a bit of a shoulder separation there. Still have like this bit of love handles here, and yeah, this is basically after like I'd say technically speaking like a year or like 9 months of gym training because during in between this time there was COVID and I wasn't training during COVID at all, obviously. So like we'll say from this first picture to the second picture, it was about a 9 month or 1 year training experience. And then this was actually not that long ago. This was like 8 months ago. This was like August of 2023. So like a bit over a year past this picture. And as you can see, I got fat. Like fatter than I'd like to be. Like if you look here, I'm not fat at all here. Like I think you'd be delusional to call me fat here. Maybe I'm not like lean, but I'm not fat obviously. Here I was just fat. Like I was probably like I think I hit 175 pounds or something. So I was definitely like a chubby boy. I had like no jawline as you can see in the picture. Yeah, V taper is not there. There's like saw a bit of love handles as well. Then this is 3 months later. I cut. I got skinny again, basically. I mean, not like as skinny as like this first picture, but still pretty skinny. So this was a loss of about like 25, maybe 30 pounds total. I lost that much weight. So this was August, and this was, I believe, November or December. And then since then, I've bulked up a bit. So like you can see, I haven't gained that much fat since then, but I'm a solid amount bigger in this final picture. So we'll clear up one misconception that every like gym guy has for some reason, and that's this idea of going to the gym gets you guys and not girls. If you believe this, you're fucking retarded, in my opinion. Like this could not be further from the truth, because like just think of it logically. Like when girls are alone and they're masturbating, what do you think they masturbate to? Do you think they masturbate to like a dad bod? Do you think they masturbate to like some skinny guy? I don't mean like some like skinny TikTok guy. Those guys actually like have some muscle. I mean like a dead just full on skinny guy, like some 120 pound guy. No, obviously not. So they masturbate to a fit athletic body, or like maybe they masturbate to like some I don't know, some TikTok lean boy physique if they're like younger. So that also look at the man in like 99% of like female like romance novels, and like look at fucking 50 Shades of Grey or like Twilight. Look at the guy's body in there, and you can see that like while women will tell you that they like a dad bod or like they like a guy that doesn't go to the gym, that's not true. What keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Whenever a woman tells you they don't like guys that go to the gym, what they're thinking of is a guy that takes steroids and looks like a fucking mass monster. They think of Ronnie Coleman. They think of Rich Piana. They think of fucking Jay Cutler. They don't think of like fucking Christian Grey from Twilight, from 50 Shades of Grey. So keep that in mind. Don't ever like fall to this mindset of thinking that like going to the gym does not get you girls, or it only gets you guys, or like you'll get less attractive if you go to a gym in terms of getting women. That's the complete opposite of the truth. So then what is attractive to girls? So first thing I'll say, do not fucking fall for the bodybuilding lies. Like aesthetic bodybuilders, I'll say aesthetic in quotation marks because they're not aesthetic. Aesthetic bodybuilders are not that attractive. So I have a picture on the top here of Alex Eubank. A lot of people look at this guy. They look at people like him and David Lade, and they think that like, oh, this is attractive to women. The truth is, it's actually not. Like you'd be surprised. Like it's surprising to me how so many people think that these guys are aesthetic just because they put the word aesthetic in front of their names. It's like they'll say that they're aesthetic bodybuilders. That doesn't mean they're aesthetic. Like look at this guy's Alex Eubank's chest. Like I'm not trying to roast the guy, obviously. Like he's probably a cool guy and all. I'm not sure, but like most girls, if you ask them about like this chest, they say it looks weird. They'll be honest with you. They'll say it looks weird. They'll say like he has like too many veins or something. Like and like you have to realize that like the aesthetic bodybuilding building community is not actually that attractive to like the majority of women. Like this physique is attractive to mainly gym girls. So if you're like trying to go for like gym girls, then yeah, go for this physique. But like if you're going for like the general population, we're talking about like most women, like the majority of women, then this is not the physique to aim for. So the biggest thing is that moderation is key. Like, look at this guy. He has cap delts, massive chest, insanely lean. Like, he looks like he's like 10, 12% body fat here. And like he has like these like lines and everything. Moderation is the name of the game. So like imagine Grey from Twilight. Why did I write Twilight? Okay, Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Like that guy was not looking like Alex Eubank here. He didn't have like this massive chest or like these capped delts or like I mean maybe he did a little bit, but like not to this extent of like veiny arms, right? So I have a picture of here from of Charlie Cox from the Daredevil movie. I mean sorry, Daredevil TV show. You can see like just look at the chest difference. Like compare this chest here. This chest is like amazing for bodybuilding purposes. It looks like really good for like if you're trying to become a bodybuilder, but like in terms of general attraction, this kind of looks like titties. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like so many girls will see this and be like, yeah, these look bigger than mine. Like I don't like this. So compare this chest to this chest. You see the difference? This one looks like it's almost like I'm not accusing him of anything obviously, but like it looks like it's pumped full of synthol. It looks like it's almost unnatural. This looks like a healthy guy, and that's like the key here. Moderation, it means looking healthy. So like just because these guys say they're aesthetic does not mean they're attractive. You want to aim for something that's more like this. Like look at this. He still has like some veins here, but it's not as crazy as his veins here. Some shoulder definition. They're not capped delts like here. He has abs, but they're not like crazy abs. You see what I mean? So yeah. Another question a lot of people may ask, which I think is kind of a stupid question, is what split is best? In my opinion, bro, just shut the fuck up and choose your favorite one. Just don't do a split because you think it's optimal. That's like the worst mindset to have. Like, what do I do personally? I do a bro split because it's more fun. Like, I like having like arm days and like back days and chest days and even leg days. Like, it's just more fun to me to like just like blast one body part and like obviously like if you like go to like Jeff Nippert or like some like random science-based YouTuber, they'll tell you it's not optimal because you're only like training your muscles like once a week. You should be training it twice a week for optimal hypertrophy or like all this bullshit, right? Or like even Mario Rios will tell you like push pull legs is optimal 6 days a week because twice a week frequency or whatever. Don't worry about that. If you keep worrying about these kinds of things, then if you don't enjoy it, you're just not going to make progress. So like I'm just going to highlight this part here, this infinite mindset. It does not matter if the shit you're doing is optimal or not. If it's fun, then you'll stick with it and you'll stay consistent. You'll stay more consistent than if you were to choose a split that you don't like. And then you're guaranteed the end result as long as you just stay consistent. The 10 out of 10 body does not come from the optimal split. It comes from consistency. So then stop focusing on the optimal split and focus more on the consistency. If, like, for example, if you like the bro split more, but you're aware that push pull legs is like more optimal, like according to all these science based YouTubers, and you choose push pull legs, sure, it's more optimal. Yeah, maybe you'll make more progress on it in the beginning, but then what happens when you fall off? What happens if you when you don't like it? Like, sure, we can all be like David Goggins guys over here and be like, yeah, it's discipline, it's this, that. But the truth is, objectively speaking, you will perform way better and be way more consistent on a split that you actually enjoy versus a split that you don't enjoy, no matter how disciplined you are. Because if you do something you like, you'll do it again. Just keep that philosophy in mind. So that's why I do the bro split personally, because I am way less likely to skip days. I mean, I've been skipping days recently because I kind of hurt my wrist from Muay Thai, but that's a different story. So just do the split that you like the best. If it's the bro split, do the bro split. If you like push pull legs, do push pull legs. If you like upper lower, do upper lower. It doesn't really matter. As long as you stay consistent, that is what guarantees you the 10 out of 10 body. And then honestly, I'm just gonna like breeze over these because I think this idea of like the aesthetic muscles and like the aesthetic muscle groups is just like way too overdone. And like I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure all you guys are just nerds. You guys already like know this stuff. You guys watch fitness content like 24/7. You watch Mario Rios, you watch More Plates, More Dates. You probably have watched Hamza's aesthetic body video. Like I'm just not gonna spend that much time on these. So then these are not in any specific order. There's lats, there's shoulders, there's upper chest, there's abs slash waist. I'll get into why there's abs and waist in there, and there's glutes. So I'm not going to focus too long on these because I think the mindset behind the attractive body is way more valuable than any of these parts. just in general, as like a rule of thumb at the bottom here, in general, compound lifts are better than isolation lifts, and free weights are better than machines, excluding arms, because arms are just a special case as a natural lifter. We'll start with the lats. Let me just move my camera. So just remember, like what I just said, compounds are better than isolation, and free weights are better than machines. So for lats, just focus on pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, bent over barbell rows, bent over dumbbell rows, maybe a pullover exercise if you really feel like it. You'll see in this picture here. Yeah, there's some fat loss, but I'm hoping you guys can still see that like my actual back did grow since like these between these two pictures. It's not just fat loss. Like I think I was at 0 pull-ups here. Here I could do about 11 or 12, and I can still do like 10 to 12 now because I just haven't been training back as seriously, which I should get back into. And the reason I say you should do pull-ups over something like lat pull-downs is because it's 2-in-1. You get free core training. Like every bodybuilder will tell you that like you should avoid core training or like core activation because like it's like better if you isolate a muscle, but that's not even true. Just because you isolate a muscle does not mean you're targeting it more than a compound exercise. That's a myth. So people believe that just because a lat pull down takes out the core completely and only focuses on the back, that means it targets the back more than a pull-up that focuses on both. That's not true. The pull-up just has an added bonus of also training your core. So keep that in mind. Next is the upper chest. Upper chest and not the rest of the chest. I specifically said the upper chest because if you train your lower chest, it kind of looks like you have like fucking titties, and I don't think most girls would be into that. I mean, that's just me. Maybe like some girls you meet may be into that, but personally, I don't want an Alex Eubank chest. I'm just saying, bro. Like, no offense to him. I'm sure he's great, and I'm pretty sure his physique is amazing, but I don't want a chest like him. So the best exercise by far is the incline dumbbell press. Anything else beyond this is bonus. If you do just incline dumbbell press, you'll make insane progress. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the upper chest is mainly built through just like the incline dumbbell press. You can do some other stuff like crossovers and like stuff like that, or like pec decks, but this is like 90% of what your upper chest should be. And do more sets than of incline bench than flat bench if you're like me and you have some gyno, because gyno just makes it look like your lower chest is bigger than it should be. So just, that I heard something. Okay, just make sure you have more sets incline. So it's just a random screenshot I just have of some girl saying that she loves my chest. Subtle flex. Okay, shoulders. This is the most important part of your physique. I think almost anyone would agree with this. So I don't know why I put KISS in there. Oh yeah, okay. So KISS stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid. So I'm not sure where I got this from. I just added it in, I guess. So there's just like mainly 3 exercises that you should be doing to like just train your shoulders. There's lateral raises, there's the standing overhead press, and there's some rear delt exercise. Like you can do face pulls, you can do rear delt flies or whatever. Just make sure you're training all 3 heads. There's like the front, there's the side, and there's the back. Okay, so just focus on those 3. These 3 will get you like 90% of what you need. Don't worry about other things for now. Man, I'm losing my voice from this cold. So girls fucking love shoulders. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I think whenever I send a picture to a girl, like the most often compliment I'll get in terms of my body is either the upper chest or like more likely the shoulders. Girls fucking go crazy over shoulders. I can't tell you why. Maybe it's like there's like something primarily attractive about it back in like our caveman days, or like maybe just like signals like strength, or like I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. Like there's probably like some evolutionary, I can't say that word, evolutionary reason why it's more attractive, but it just happens to be the most attractive muscle group that you could possibly build. So then abs/waist. The reason I put it as abs/waist is because you can look at me. I don't have abs at all. I don't have anything close to abs. I'm like probably like 5 or 6% body fat too high to have abs. And obviously, like you've seen, I still like do fine with like attracting girls, especially like online, like when they see my pictures. And that's because abs are not the most important thing. The most important thing is having a small waist. Because what a small waist allows you to do is build like this V taper and have that shoulder to waist ratio. Because evolutionarily, the shoulder to waist ratio, having like the wide, broad back and like wider shoulders and like narrow waist, What that usually tells a girl, like evolutionarily, is that you can fight and that you're like in shape and you have good genes that you can pass off to like her children. So don't think you need abs to like get girls. That's like some gym style mindset of like you just coping that you can't talk to women and just pretending that's because you don't have abs. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Just focus on the shoulder to waist ratio. So build the back and stay like relatively lean. Don't get fat. Like don't have like crazy love handles or anything, and you'll be fine. You don't need to have abs. Like that's a very overrated part of your body. To be honest, that's like so many fitness influencers like just tend to overstate the importance of having abs that a lot of people have developed like this thing called ab anxiety where they believe that they can't take their shirt off if they don't have abs or like if they're not like extremely like lean. It's unfortunate because that's the furthest thing from the truth. Like so many girls are just like will be into guys that just don't have abs, but they're just like healthy looking. Like the fitness space is not about health, and keep that in mind. And girls are attracted to health, not a specific muscle. So yeah, glutes. You guys are fucking thinking I was gonna put a picture of me on here? Nah, bro. That's like specific OnlyFans content right there. So I think Hamza said this. Glutes are the shoulders of the leg, which doesn't make sense at first, but it makes sense if you think about it. So the shoulders in the arm are like the fucking most important part. So like if you have like massive like biceps and like triceps, but no shoulders, your arm will still look kind of stupid. It'll look kind of small. But strangely enough, if you have like mid-tier biceps and triceps, but you have good shoulders, that'll still look good. That's the weird thing. So like same thing with the glutes. If you have like massive quads and hamstrings but no glutes, it just looks kind of stupid. But if you have like mid-tier quads and mid-tier glutes, I mean mid-tier quads and mid-tier hamstrings, then and like well-developed glutes, then like it still looks good. Like I'm not telling you to skip quads or something, but I'm just telling you like glutes are objectively more important than any other leg muscle in your body. If you think it's fucking gay, you gotta get fucking slapped by like some guy, some like big guy with big glutes. Like fucking girls thirst over guys' glutes. I'm not sure why I put this like random meme here. I just had to put something there I felt like, so I just put that there. But girls fucking thirst over a guy's glutes because I mean if you think of it sexually, what do you think big glutes on a guy means? It means he can fucking pound you. Like that's like the simplest way to put it. And on top of that, like evolutionarily, like having like well developed glutes means that you can like run really fast, you can probably jump pretty high. It just means that like you're more capable of like defending like her future children, right? And then for glutes, hip thrusts and Romanian deadlifts are fucking king. Like if you do just these two, you will make like 90-80% of the progress from like just these two exercises. These are the only two I do for glutes, and I noticed a ton of progress that you guys are not gonna see. So then another question people ask is bulk or cut. If you have to even debate this, like I feel like in your like fucking room, like pacing back and forth, like, do I bulk or do I cut? Just fucking lean bulk, bro. Because like if you have to debate it, that just means you're too skinny. That's just the truth. Like if you need to cut, then it's gonna be obvious you have to cut. But like if it's a debate to you, that means you're just small, bro. Admit it. You're fucking small. Just lean bulk because a lot of people are skinny fat, right? And they can't tell whether they need to bulk or cut first. If you're skinny fat, just lean bulk. That's what I did. I mean, except for this picture right here. This picture, I was just like fat because I'm 5'10", 175 pounds. That is objectively on a BMI scale. That's overweight. So like this is exiting skinny fat territory and just entering like overweight territory. Okay, so that's why I cut here, not because I was skinny fat. I was not skinny fat here. I was just like fat. So cutting when you're skinny fat just makes you a smaller skinny fat person because like I think Hamza said this first, but like so many people have this idea that like if you're skinny fat, if you just cut, you'll just look like a lean TikTok dude. And that's not true because like you have this belief in your head that like if you just cut all the fat out of your skinny fat body, you'll just have like all the muscles there. Like the look of the muscle, like the shoulder separation, the chest, pec, it'll just be small, but you'll have nothing because you don't have any muscle underneath the skinny fat. So like, you have to bulk first to first build the muscle, then you can cut after. But if you cut as a skinny fat person, you're just gonna become a smaller skinny fat person. You'll have love handles, they'll just be smaller, but everything else will be smaller in proportion, so it just looks exactly the same, but you're smaller. So like, it just hurts you in the end. So I personally bulk on meat, eggs, seafood, fruits, vegetables, cheese, honey, and a decent amount of heavy cream, to be honest. The reason I do no carbs is because I tend to get bloated from carbs pretty easily, and I get a lot of carb crashes. And on top of that, it's just not good for like your brain and like your productivity. So I would recommend trying to bulk on a low carb or a keto diet because first of all, it's not even hard. Like just get a lot of your calories from like healthy fats like red meat fats and heavy cream and cheese and stuff like that. And you'll have no problem bulking on a keto diet. Like that's a myth that keto diets are hard to bulk on. So we'll get into some more autistic level stuff here. So we have the attractive body weight range. So first of all, you have to be in the 10 to 20% body fat range for this to apply to you. If you're below 10, it just looks kind of weird, to be honest. You look like some like stage ready bodybuilder, and like no matter what the fitness industry tells you, that's not attractive. Like just don't fall for that. You don't need to be under 10% body fat, and you probably shouldn't be for your health because at a certain point, just being too lean hurts your testosterone levels and just kills your sex drive. So like it just doesn't help you. Like remember what I said? Girls are attracted to health, not specific muscles or specific body fat percentages. Just look healthy. So, and then if you're above 20% body fat, then you're just kind of fat. So just stay in that range and you'll be fine. So assuming you're my height, you're 5'10", aim between 140 and 185-ish pounds, and then give or take 5 pounds for every inch in height. So if you're 5'11", add 5 pounds to this range. If you're 5'8", subtract 10 pounds from this range, so on. So you'll see that this is actually a massive range. And that's because people are different. And like, believe it or not, like a lot of the red pill people will tell you that women are not that unique, but the truth is they are. Like, there is no one body weight you could choose in here that would be like objectively the most attractive to all women. Some women like the skinnier side, like 140, 145, 150. Some women like the bigger side of like 185, maybe even 190. I could probably increase this to 190 even. But I'll just say as a general rule of thumb, the smaller you are, so the closer you are to this side of the range, the leaner you have to be to compensate. So like you can't be 20% body fat and 5'10" and 140 pounds. You'll just be a skinny fat. So, but like now if you're saying you're 10% body fat and 140 pounds and 5'10", a lot of girls will find that attractive, believe it or not. And then if you're bigger, you're allowed to be like a higher body fat percentage just because you have more muscle. So like if you're 185 pounds, 190, you can be like 18, 19% body fat, and like that would still look really good on you. Like you'll probably still have abs even at that point. So like the bigger you are, the less lean you're allowed to be. That's just how the game is, I guess. So the lower end gets to like more of like that TikTok like boy range of like I don't know like what's like a Josh Richards, I think that's his name. Like some like TikTok dude that's like lean, kind of skinny, but like in an attractive way, not like a disgusting like Holocaust looking way. And then the higher end gets you like to the bulkier like masculine look. Like a lot of feminine girls like really dig that look of like just being like bulky as fuck and just kind of big and looking like almost like a bear. And then like the middle range of like let's say 165 170, that's like the athletic range. That's like probably like the highest proportion of women will like that physique because you'll probably attract some women who like the TikTok boy physique, and you'll probably also attract some women that like the bulky big physique. So like you kind of get the best of both in that middle range. This is if you're under 25, by the way. If you're over 25, then don't worry about this. So this is a bonus. This is how to take sexy photos. So you can see I took 2 pictures here. They're like almost the same, to be honest. This one actually has better lighting. I look more jacked here, but that's the thing. That's like the biggest like misconception people have with taking photos for women or like for Tinder. Don't be a gym bro. Like don't focus on being jacked. Focus on looking like sexy. Like I think you'd have to admit that I mean obviously you're a dude, like don't like fucking be gay for me or something, but like you have to admit like I look sexier here than I do in this photo, but I look more jacked in this photo. So like a lot of people would just say like use this photo because like you can see like the shoulder separation. There's like some more arm definition there, and yeah, there's better lighting as well. And I'm also flexing. But like this photo actually gets way more matches on Tinder. It's just the truth. So like don't make it look like you're flexing because it just looks kind of tryhardish. It makes you look like a gym cell, to be honest. Just focus on looking like just like look at your favorite model, look at like some model guy and just copy his shirtless selfies. Like he probably takes a lot of them. Just copy them and you'll just notice he's not flexing like his shoulders like he is here. He just kind of like has like a nice look on his face and just like takes a photo. And then one more secret tip, not that much of a secret, but it actually just helped me a lot. One secret tip is to actually slouch a little when you're taking like these photos, because when you slouch a little, for some reason it makes your chest look better and it makes your abs look better. Like obviously I don't have abs, but what I'm trying to say is that like it makes your V taper look better when you're just slouching for some reason. Like don't like slouch like this obviously, but like if you're like versus like this, just be like that. Like almost engage your traps while you're slouching, and that makes your pictures look way better for some reason. I couldn't tell you why, to be honest, but yeah. So in general, focus on the 80-20 rule. Don't be a fucking spaz and focus on every minute detail. Don't like focus on like, oh, push pull legs this, optimal meal timing, or like all this bullshit. Like don't focus on like, oh, what's the best rep range to like build muscle, or like what's the best exercise for like upper chest. Just do your favorite ones and just be consistent. That's it. So lift consistently, eat clean, and sleep well. If you do these three things, you will make progress, a good amount of progress. Don't worry about anything else. And get the fuck off of fitness YouTube. Honestly, the shit's for fucking dorks. Even including like this MMA Mario Rio side. Like a lot of people think that they're cool, or like they're like really intelligent because they go to the other side of the fitness influencer space, which is like the MMA like anti bodybuilding side. But you have to realize like you're just as stupid as the other side is. Like you're just like even less aware of it. So I'm gonna make a whole video about this at some later point, but I just think this whole movement of like MMA fitness is kind of getting stupid now. And don't be like me watching lateral raise external rotation videos on my forums. Like I was like watching all these videos on like how to properly do a lat raise, and like they're just talking about like external rotation, internal rotation, pinky up, thumb up. Like don't worry about this. If you just do this motion, that's gonna build your shoulders. Okay, that's it. Don't worry about like, oh, pinky up, thumb up. Like stop worrying about that shit. One more mindset thing is just realize that lifting weights isn't that fucking cool. So don't make the gym your entire personality. Like so many people will just like become like some yes king motherfucker, like some like massive like gym guy, and they just make their entire life the gym. That's not cool. I used to think that was cool. Like back in like high school, like I remember like posting on my Instagram story, or like posting on my workout private snap that I secretly added all the girls to. I would post like, oh, like look at the strength level. I'm like almost intermediate on this powerlifting website, like on this and that. And I was always wondering why that got me no girls, and that's because it's not cool to go to the gym. It's really not. Like it's if you make it your entire life, it just kind of looks like you're a loser, to be honest. Like that's just the truth of it. Like everyone goes to the gym nowadays. It's not that special anymore. You're not special for just going to the gym or like using some powerlifting website that you think is cool. Don't become those cringe fitness influencers who like say they do it for themselves and like talk about like how they get rejected and just like become like a monster in the gym as like some redemption arc, and they sacrifice women for like weights. So lifting should be a part of your life, and it should never be your full life. And if it is your full life, I honestly think you're a loser. And maybe that's harsh, maybe you can disagree, but that's just my personal opinion. I think you're kind of a loser, and maybe like a social reject if you're just like only going to the gym and that's like your entire life, and all you post on your Instagram is you going to the gym and like hitting PRs and like all this and thinking that's gonna make girls like you. It won't. So here's a summary. Aim for the athletic and fit body type. Don't aim for like the fake aesthetic bodybuilding. Don't aim for like obviously like the real bodybuilding. So remember, not Alex Eubank, Christian Grey from what's the movie called? 50 Shades of Grey. Do the split you like the most. Don't focus on like push pull legs or like what's optimal or 2 times a week muscle frequency. Just do the split you like the most. If it's push pull legs, that's perfectly fine. I'm not telling you not to push pull legs, but like do it because you like it, not because it's optimal. Okay, and then keep the aesthetic muscles in mind that I told you, but do not skip others. Like just because didn't mention biceps or something, that doesn't mean that you should not train biceps. Like obviously train everything else. And then compounds are better than isolations, and free weights are better than machines for the most part. For some things like arms and like biceps and everything, it's nice to do some machines or like some isolation exercises just because they're such small muscles that like oftentimes compound exercises don't like hit them as well as they could have been hit. And when in doubt, just bulk. If you have to question whether you have to bulk or cut, you're just too small, just fucking bulk. And just remember that the range for the attractive body weight to be like an attractive man to most girls, it's fucking huge. Okay, like I gave like a 50 pound range or something, and obviously just remember that if you're on the smaller side, be leaner. If you're on the bigger side, you're allowed to be a bit bulkier and have a higher body fat. So also, being sexy is way more important than looking jacked for photos. Don't like flex like a fucking gym cell. Don't focus on like looking as big as possible in these pictures. Just focus on having the nice V taper, have a nice look on your face, maybe slouch a little to get your abs to look nice a bit better. And remember the 80-20 rule and don't be a gym cell. Yeah. So, yeah, that is it for this guide. This is actually a 40-minute guide. I think this is like the longest thing I've made on my channel. This is my first Loom video, so I'm actually very happy with this video. I just wish I didn't have this cold or like this sore throat to like record this with. But other than that, I think this video is pretty good. If you guys want more Loom videos or like more Loom full guides, then just let me know in the comments and I can always make them. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that gay shit. My Instagram is the first link in the description. So, yeah, dawn ends when you're full.